All right, so I have a confession to make. When I first started making YouTube videos and posting them to my channel, I had zero idea that this was going to become my full-time job. I did it for fun. I saw it as a place where I could put long-form videos, home videos of me and my family doing things, or things that I just wanted to be able to go back in time and watch. You know, we don't have the camcorders anymore with the VCRs and all that stuff like we did back in the day. We have YouTube. So that's what I did, and I started posting some different things. You know, you've probably seen some of my chicken videos. Maybe you've seen, if you've been following me for any sort of time, you've probably seen a lot of family videos. You may have seen, heck, I did some crypto videos where I built a crypto mining shed, all that fun stuff, right? But back in June of 22, this was just over a year ago, I built a DIY cold plunge, and that video took off and put my channel really on the map. And I thought it would be fun today for me to literally go back for my original reason why I started YouTube in the first place, go back and watch these videos that actually put me on the map and go through my journey of these cold plunging videos and how I started and where I am today. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to watch each of these videos that I published. I published my first video June 15th of 2022. I've got it pulled up right here. And I'm going to give this a watch and then give my comments, and then we're going to go to the next video, and I'm going to just keep going through my journey and explaining what I would have done differently, but also just commenting back on the silly stuff that I did back then. Let's get right into it. So here's video number 1, where I built my first DIY cold plunge using my chicken's trough. This is what I had baby chickens growing up in, and recycling that to make a cold plunge with a chiller. Let's watch it. What's up everybody, David Moss Jr. here, and today I'm going to show you how you can make your own at-home indoor cold plunge where you don't have to use any ice. Check this out. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to get, and you can get these at any farm shop, Tractor Supply, is a 100-gallon trough. They're galvanized. There's a drain plug at the bottom if you need to empty it at all, but this is pretty much a galvanized steel 100-gallon trough. And really the only other stuff you'll need that I found is a water chiller. Now this is rated for up to 172 gallons. It's a 1/2 horsepower. You can obviously do your own research, find your own, but what I found is a lot of the cold plunges that sell for, you know, $4,000, $5,000 plus use this exact chiller. So the chiller is great. That makes the water nice and chilly. This is your pump. It's a submersible pump, so that'll go at the bottom. It has its own little filter built in, but I'm gonna add an extra skimmer. Now this will be indoors, so there won't be any debris. There won't be a lot of stuff that it's gonna have to clean out. My kids might throw toys in there, I'm sure, but at the end of the day, it should stay pretty clean. That's just in case, you know, something makes it through the line. I don't want it to get into the chiller. You'll need a couple clamps. All this, everything you see here, I ordered on Amazon, and I'll put the links in the description. And then I decided to go with the 1/2-inch black tubing, so I can connect everything. And then I've got my plug right there behind the trough itself. So now I'm just gonna hook it up and we'll see what happens. So a few recommendations before you start is make sure your tub is clean. Just completely clean this. I mean, we've used it for a few things, so I'm recycling this one, but just full detailed it. Make sure you have a dedicated outlet, I would suggest. I mean, I'm sure you could plug it right into a regular outlet, but it's always better to have dedicated, especially if you plan on having this running continuously. The chiller itself pulls 5 to 6 amps continuously, plus the pump. So, you know, I already had this here, so this works out. This is my little gym. I got a sauna over there and some other stuff, so this is gonna be a great little setup. You also, I would suggest, so you could drain it if you ever need to, have it close to a window, have it outside if you want on a back porch. And then also you wanna have a water source, so make sure you have a hose that reaches here so you can fill it up pretty easy. So it's important to know that, like, the pump you get, the chiller you get, and the tube you get, and everything you get works with the same size tube. So I got 1/2-inch black tubing, and I needed to make sure that this pump also worked with the 1/2-inch, which was cool. It came with a lot of different tips. Suction cups and all that stuff. So super versatile, which was awesome. But you wanna also make sure that your clamps work with a 1/2-inch, and you wanna make sure your chiller works with a 1/2-inch, because you don't wanna order all the stuff, get excited to set it up, and then something not fit. So make sure you check that before you order anything. Got the chiller and the pump where they need to be. Now I gotta attach it all. So if you watch any of my stories on Instagram, it's at DMoss Jr., you'll see that I have been, what up buddy? I've been doing the ice soaks, but I've been going to the gas station buying ice, and ice is expensive. It's $3 for 10 gallons of ice. So that's kind of nuts, right? That's why I justified buying this chiller. And yeah, so I've been doing it out here and it's been great, but you know, eventually it's gonna get really cold outside and I got the sauna inside, so that's why I'm moving it inside. And I think this is gonna work. I haven't really seen many people do this. That's why I'm documenting this and gonna post this. Maybe it inspires somebody to make their own chiller. But yeah, I'm excited. It's all hooked up inside. I'll show you the tubing and how I set that up, and I'm grabbing the hose, I'm gonna fill it up. All right, so things are on. That's exciting. What do you think, babe? You're not in it. Things are on, things are working, and now we're just gonna continue filling it up and let this bad boy get us down to 50 to get started, and then we'll keep going lower and lower from there.
Yeah, Daddy.
You in the sauna?
Yeah.
Are you gonna get in the cold tub?
No.
Too cold?
Yeah.
Oh no. All right, so what I did is I took the 1/2-inch tubing with the clamps, connected the chiller. One side of the hose is literally just the hose coming back into the tub, keeping the water circulating. It's my little, put a little strainer filter on there. And then I've connected the other part of the hose to the pump that's down there. Sorry if I'm talking a little weird, I just got out. I realized that the video I shot earlier of me showing the hoses was also when I was filling this up, and you couldn't hear me because the hose was too loud. So super simple. It was honestly like one of the easiest DIY projects ever. I encourage you to try it yourself. You know what makes me pretty excited about this? It's inside and it's quiet. You really can't hear anything. Maybe a little bit, but almost nothing. It's exciting. All right, so just got done with a good day at work. Just had a great after work workout, and things been running all day, super smooth. It's at 50 degrees already, which is awesome. So that'll be my first official cold plunge at 50. I've done them with ice, never had a thermometer. I don't really know how cold it was, and I did them outside. So I'm assuming this will probably be one of the colder cold plunges that I've done as of recent. So we'll see how that goes. But first, I started the sauna over here. I'm gonna get in the sauna and get really warm after a good workout so that I can get really cold. And then hopefully I can sleep tonight. That's gonna be the true test. But let's see how this thing works. And one quick thing before I jump in this. Last year, I volunteered in the CEO Soak for the ALS Association, the Florida chapter, and I'm gonna do the same thing this year. So I'm gonna post a link in the description below. If you or someone you know would like to donate to the ALS Association, I'm gonna post a link. Every dollar goes to the research to try to help find a cure for ALS. So I would love it if you could donate or share this video with somebody who knows about ALS and is willing to support. All right, so it's hard to tell, but I am dripping sweat in the sauna. And if you haven't, I would suggest, like, if you're watching this video, you probably know what the benefits are to a cold plunge, and you're like me, you're trying to save a little bit of money, do things yourself. So this is kind of like a do-it-yourself, build your own cold plunge where you don't have to constantly be filling it with ice. You don't have to use an ice chest that's meant for a freezer deep chest that's meant for food. I hope this works. You know, obviously this is kind of like a trial, so I think it's gonna work. It's the same chiller and kind of the same stuff that these $5,000 setups that are selling out day and night are using, so I have a feeling it's gonna work pretty good. I might have to use some more ways to clean it. I did watch a video in like Costa Rica and stuff. They use little hydrogen peroxide in their smaller tubs and in their hot tubs and stuff instead of chlorine and instead of chemicals. Better for you as a human being, and it keeps the water nice and clean. So gonna probably play around with that a little bit, play around with UV lights to try to keep the water really clean. It's so cold, I don't see any bacteria really growing in it, but you know, you obviously gotta take care of that, especially if I'm gonna go from here, being all sweaty in the sauna, I'm gonna dry off the sweat and then jumping right in. So gotta keep the water clean and all that stuff. But yeah, if you're watching this video, you probably know the benefits to it. But if you're watching this video and you don't, do your own research and figure it out. You know, like, there's something to be said about jumping into freezing cold water. Like, it sucks. It sucks so bad. There's nothing about it that's fun. It takes your breath away. It immediately activates your entire body. Your body's like, we're gonna die. We need to activate every cell we can and stay alive. And I think that's part of the, I'm not a scientist, but that's part of the reasons it's so good for you, because it activates so many cells in your body. It burns fat,
It boosts your immune system, it heightens your senses, it heightens your memory, your brain, it activates every nerve in your body. So those are the things that I've heard, but it's also the things that I've experienced, and that's why I decided to jump in and build one of these things. So I'm gonna sit in here for probably another 10 minutes, get even sweatier, and then I'm jumping in for the first time. At this point in the show, like, you've seen me build it, you don't have to watch me jump in it, you know what that's gonna look like. If you like this, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You know, I'm not a big YouTuber, but I have no problem helping other people just like me, answering questions and kind of pointing you in the right direction through my experiences. If you want to subscribe, surprisingly, I have just under 500 subscribers. I never thought I would see that many subscribers on YouTube because I'm not a YouTuber and it's not really what I do. But it's kind of encouraged me to make some more videos on some of the fun things that I do outside of what I do for a living, which is I sell cars for Moss Family Automotive. And if you have a need for a car or anything like that, I'd love to help you out as well. We deliver cars all over the United States, so love to help you out there. In the meantime, appreciate you. Hit subscribe if you want to, like the video if you want to, I don't really care. I'm about to jump in this cold plunge. Have a great day and God bless. All right, hey, I have 4 kids, so the house is always a disaster no matter how hard we try. Oh dear. Oh my God. Here goes nothing. I don't know how I'm gonna record this. Single-handed. Oh my God. Here, putting your face under is always a good start. I don't know how to do this. That's cold. I might have filled it up too much. Or maybe it's just perfect. It's funny because I watched a few videos on YouTube of people getting in them, and it doesn't look that intense until you get in it. Well, I'm in it, guys. It's 50, going on 49 degrees. I'm in the cold plunge. I'm gonna chill in here for, well, maybe 3 minutes. I think that's probably good. It's so good for you. I think it's always the questionable things, right? It's like, hey, this is good for you. You should do it. It says the guy selling crack behind a gas station. Don't do crack, but do a cold plunge. This is way better for you, I think. Have a great day. God bless.
All right, so yeah, don't do crack. Definitely do a cold plunge. I can't believe I said that. And actually, I've had people comment on that it's hilarious. So, you know, that's one thing I always want to stay. I want to stay true to myself. I want to be myself. I want to be authentic. I want to just be who I am. And that's my goal and that's my plan. And I'm gonna keep sticking to that. This next video is actually when I started to realize that having a metal trough in your house, I didn't realize it was going to condensate like crazy. Luckily, I had it on a rubber gym floor, so it was fine. Underneath that gym floor was just tile, so it was fine. But I didn't like that it was just constantly sweating in my house, and I also didn't like that it was in my house when I had a young kid and all that fun stuff. So now, this next video is when I started to experiment with some different materials and some different placements of my whole entire setup. Let's check this out. What's up, everybody? Dave Moss Jr. here. And in today's video, if you haven't already seen my DIY cold plunge, you should probably check that out. It's on my channel. I don't know how to post links. I'm kind of new to this whole thing, but check it out. It's pretty cool. I built it out of a recycled 100-gallon galvanized tub. Bought the same chiller that all the high-dollar cold plunges use, with a filter and some tubing and a pump, and it works perfectly. Problem was, I put it in my house and it was amazing, but my son likes to throw toys and food and all kinds of things in it, so I had to move it. So I moved it out to my shed, and one thing I found was with the heat of it being Florida and it being outside, even though it's in a shed, and the freezing cold water, it condensated and it sweated and it made my entire floor of my shed soaking wet. So then I drained it again, and I moved it to my sport court, which it's perfect there. Everyone loves it because it's in the sun and you can get in the cold and get right out, and it's hot and it's nice and the water's cold and it's kind of refreshing. But it's on my sport court. So like when we're playing basketball, pickleball, it's kind of it's not in the way, but it's kind of in the way. Not to mention the chiller's fighting pretty hard to keep it cold because it's not insulated. It's just a galvanized metal tub. So I went to Tractor Supply yesterday, looked at a bunch of different options, and I know for a fact that the metal sweats. I know for a fact that plastic sweats. So I looked at that big Rubbermaid tub, was thinking about making like a big family tub. Probably would have been a better idea. However, I decided to go with a 110-gallon rubber tub, thick rubber made out of the same stuff those horse stall mats are made out of. And I'm sitting here thinking, all right, I know plastic sweats, I know metal sweats. Here's the question of the day: does rubber sweat? So yesterday I set it up, I moved it back into my shed, filled it up, turned it on. Now let's go see if rubber sweats and if it's cold. So as you can see, there's a ton of size options. So it depends on really what you're looking to accomplish. If you're looking to do just an individual plunge, if you're looking for metal, if you're looking for plastic, if you're looking for rubber, if you're looking for the whole family to get in at one time, if you're looking for the entire community to get in at one time, there's options. Kind of intrigued by this rubber though. One thing about having all the electricity moving the pumps and stuff is rubber might be a better choice. Also, it might not have so much condensation. So that's intriguing to me. I might give that a try. These big Rubbermaid ones are expensive, $169 for 150 gallon, but those are definitely a little bit more heavy duty and stable. And then this could be a good family like cold plunge swimming pool for everybody to do. That's $300. But it's Rubbermaid, commercial grade. That could be a fun little full family cold plunge. Huh. This might be the winner. About to take my wife on a date. I didn't really document much of this, but I didn't really like having the metal container on the concrete because it sweats a lot. So I went to Tractor Supply and looked at a bunch of different tubs to maybe put it out there or try something new. And the other day I moved it into my shed, and that was like my favorite spot. So check this out. This is the newest setup. All right, so I went with a 110-gallon full rubber tough stuff tub. And I got in there. It's working right now. It's trying to get itself cool. But what I like about it is it's wider, it's rubber, it's softer. The actual container itself is not that cold. So like when you have your hands on the outside or you're getting in, I don't know, it's just a little bit more comfortable. Plus it's in the shed, so I can come and use this thing when it's raining or when it's dark. I got lights in here. And then the view, when I open up the door, is the lake. So I think that'll be just a nice touch. Yeah, so that's my update that I have changed my tub. I've changed my location many times. It has worked with everything I've done, but I think this is gonna be the best, I hope. One of the big things that I really struggled with, and the reason I moved it from the shed in the first place, is that it's hot out here and it's really cold water and it's metal, or was metal, and that metal was sweating and soaking my floors. So a couple fail proofs. One, it's kind of a science experiment. Nobody online has been able to answer this for me, but does rubber sweat? We're gonna find out. If it does, I put a rubber mat at the bottom there to kind of help save the floor of the shed. So if you know the answer to that, if rubber sweats, save me some time and comment and let me know. But if you don't, and you've been curious like me, we're gonna try out rubber and see if it works. Until next time, God bless and have a great day. All right, so there it is, big rubber tub. Oh man, it sweats. It sweats bad, just as bad as the metal. Well, that stinks. Well, at least the water's really cold and clear, and it's at 50, so it's fighting even out here to stay cold. So definitely would recommend, if you are planning on spending any kind of money, like the DIY, this is great. 50-degree water is awesome. This inside, outside, no matter where you have it, it works. The chiller works, the pump works, it's great. But if you're like me kind of, and don't want it sweating all over the floor of your shed,
or you want it to just really stay cold and be able to put it anywhere, you might want to just bite the bullet and buy the ones that are built to stay outside, because this is getting kind of annoying. However, I saved a lot of money and I'm about to jump in it anyway. Oh no. Well, I guess that's the low point right there. Sweat leaking all over the floor of my shed. This is the problem. I have a wood floor. It's gonna be fine. It's weatherproof, but I don't think constant water dripping on my shed is a good idea. So, all right, well, that's a fail for what I'm trying to accomplish. And to remind you, I'm trying to keep freezing cold water outside without having to insulate and build a crazy freaking, man. All right, that's fine. Time to jump in this thing anyway. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of this plunge setup. Oh, well, I definitely like the rubber. It's soft, it's lower. It's easier to get everything in. That's nice. So, definitely like the rubber size of it anyway. But, gotta figure this out. All right, 3 minutes is up. 3 minutes is like that perfect time for thermogenesis to happen. Cold thermogenesis anyway. So if you're gonna make cold plunging part of your routine, 3 minutes is that prime spot. This is where I had the outside one that was working beautifully, but yeah, just got really hot really fast, and I really don't want it here in the corner of my sport court. I'm thinking about taking this little side here, putting it here. All right, well, so I guess my experiment of does plastic sweat or does rubber sweat, plastic sweats, metal sweats, rubber sweats. I guess everything sweats. So if I want to keep this in the shed, I'm gonna have to insulate it and create some sort of a barrier to keep the water off the ground. However, I think I'm just gonna build a freaking platform on the side of my sport court, make it an outside plunge. So yeah, that'll be my next edit, is building an outside plunge and documenting how that works. So definitely love it. I love the benefits of the cold plunge. I really wish it was a little bit easier to make one that didn't sweat. It sweat inside my house too, just so you guys know. Like when I had it in the workout room in there, it was sweating on the floor, but I have rubber flooring, it's on top of concrete, so I wasn't too worried about it. But this I'm worried about because it's wood. But yeah, if you have any tips for me on how to quickly insulate this, there's not a lot of videos on DIY cold plunges. Like, a lot of them are like ice chesting and pretty much just putting ice in a bucket or something like that. This is like next level, trying to build a legitimate cold plunge with a chiller like they use in those really expensive ones, but a DIY to save thousands and thousands of dollars. And so far the water is working great. The water is cold, it keeps it nice and cold, but as far as like keeping the surrounding areas maintained and from getting water damage, that's my next concern. So I think I'm gonna shoot a next video and build an exterior cold plunge, not in my shed. But until next time, appreciate y'all for watching. Feel free to subscribe, ask any questions or comment below. Have a great day and God bless.
So it's interesting to me, you know, like I never really watched a lot of YouTube before I started doing this. And now that I'm surrounded with other creators, I've learned a lot of different editing styles. I've learned some different techniques on thumbnail design and all these different things. But watching back these videos from just a year ago, it's like, oh my gosh, like I should have edited that out. I should have cut this out. I should have changed the soundtrack. But at the end of the day, that's all good. Like that's not really, like these aren't entertainment videos. These are educational videos, how-tos, right? So I guess we don't really care too much about all that stuff. But the cool thing is, I'm learning that I was definitely not a scientist and I didn't really understand how materials were all going to sweat. I'm going around looking for different materials. So yeah, that didn't work out in my gym floor very long. It continued to leak. I put rubber mats down. It continued to just pour out sweat. It was worse out there than it was in the house because of the heat from the shed. So this next video is where I realize that's not going to work. That material is not going to work in here. Now we're going to move it somewhere else. So check this out. Well,
we're always doing stuff, so didn't work out here. Shed is too hot, condensates and sweats all over my floor. So now we're gonna build a deck in this little wasted space anyway. And I think it's gonna turn out nice. Put a couple extra trees right there, make it a nice little space, little relaxing spot. I'm actually pretty excited about it. How about you, eh? It's a hot one today. Today's a good day for some cold plunging. Got the frame set, kind of. Gotta put some braces. I gotta run to Home Depot, get some more wood. Thought I had enough, but nope. So let's go get some more wood, get this place looking right. So me and Babe are checking it out, the progress so far. It's actually turning out kind of nice. Here's the spot. Starting to lay the deck down now. Went and got some extra wood, pressure treated. And also I got some jasmine. I figured I'm gonna have a little gap here, put some nice soil down, and I planted it to where, you know, it'll grow up right here on the nice little fence. Make this a nice little spot. I'm gonna get one more tree for here and just really make this a little secret ice bath spot. I can't talk. Been out here so long, sweating so much. I wanna get in the ice bath now.
There's one.
That one's not so icy anymore. Kids were messing with it all day. All right, so here's a little progress update. I had to stop last night. We had a crazy storm come through, but recap, planted some jasmine over there. Are you cold plunging? It doesn't look very cold. Anyway, got everything cut. Now I just gotta secure the boards, tighten everything up a little bit, and then I'm gonna put the cold plunge here and get it set up. Oh, yeah, this is good. Definitely wish my cold plunge was ready right now. We just got back from scalloping, last day of scallop season here. Pasco County. Had a good day, and now let's check out the deck. The deck is done. It is done, and I really think this it's gonna make this space really nice. I gotta clean up all that stuff. Don't mind all the basketballs. That's where the basketballs go to die. But the deck is down, solid as a rock. Put some jasmine right there to grow, right up here next to the shed, and I'm gonna put the cold plunge in. This project is officially a wrap, and I'm super pumped. And I think my entire family is too. They were just out here, but now we've got lightning in the area. It's just Florida weather. So deck is built, tub is being filled, being chilled. I even built a roof out of some scraps, kind of show you how that works when it's on there. But I'm pretty pumped. I can't wait till this water gets cold and get to plunge out here. This little makeshift lid out of old chicken coop scraps. So it's kind of neat, you know, use what you got. And yeah. We'll see how this works. Once again, if you don't already know this, like, thanks for checking out my channel. Thanks for watching my silly videos and my projects and all the stuff that I do. I really appreciate it. It's funny, when I first started doing YouTube videos, it was more for just like fun, kind of like a way to keep some memories of things that I do without having to put it on Facebook and other social media platforms. And then next thing you know, I had like 100 subscribers, and then next thing you know, I had 200 subscribers, and now I have over almost 550 subscribers, which is pretty cool. It's actually inspiring me to, I don't know, push for 1,000 subscribers. I don't know, like, I've never got one of those little YouTube plaques, but it'd be kind of cool to get one of those just for fun. Once again, this isn't what I do, but it's fun. So I'm not gonna tell you to subscribe. I'm not gonna tell you to like it. I'm not gonna tell you to hit the notification bell. If you want to, it's greatly appreciated and it's kind of cool. And other than that, I appreciate y'all for watching. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.
So that turned out to be a really cool idea. So I built a little deck right there in that spot between the shed and the sport court. It turned out to be the main spot where we created this nice serene environment where we've been cold plunging. And that's at our lake house. It's under construction. So obviously you see a lot of my content today is not at that house. It's at this house because this is our temporary house. That was the idea anyway before I quit my job and became a full-time YouTuber. So Lord willing, we'll be able to afford to move back into that house and not have to sell it. So make sure you subscribe, like this, and send it to a friend because all that obviously helps my channel grow, which helps me be able to afford life and produce content. So that turned out to be a really cool spot. This next video is after I started receiving a lot of comments and emails and DMs. I actually felt like my first video wasn't that informative, even though it did really well view-wise and got a lot of engagement and helped a lot of people. So I decided to go back through and show some of the upgrades that I did to that original setup. Let's check it out. What's up, everybody? David Moss Jr. here, and 2 months ago, basically today, I posted a video of me building my own DIY cold plunge, iceless cold plunge, that was surprisingly one of my most watched videos that I've had to date. I have a lot of engagement pretty much every day with people who are asking questions about how I did something, what I used, if something else would work and all that. So a question that I've had a lot of people ask is like step by step, how did I do each step? So I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough one on the updates I have made since then and how I did it step by step. Also, quick note, if you watched that video, you noticed that I was raising money for the ALS Association Florida chapter. Thank you to everybody who donated. I was personally able to raise over $5,000. We just did the soak yesterday. I'll show you a quick video of us getting soaked and then get right back to the video. So check it out. What are you doing, bud? You're putting the cold water on you? All right, so you'll notice a few quick changes. I went with a 110-gallon Rubbermaid tub that I got at Tractor Supply. You might have saw the video of me mind-dealing about what to get. Now, the galvanized trough is great. There's a lot of great options out there, but I personally like this one because it's rubber. It's soft and it's a little bit more comfortable and it's wider. So I'm able to get in there and spread out and get really comfortable. So I ended up upgrading to that. Also, you'll notice that it's outside. So I built a deck. You might have seen a video on that. Built a deck, threw it out here. One, because this little dude was throwing all kinds of toys and food and stuff in my inside cold plunge. So wanted to update that and bring it outside so he didn't have as much access to it. The chiller, a lot of people have been asking, is that okay to be outside? The answer is yes. I've had a lot of people actually from other companies that use the same chiller say, hey, that chiller is awesome. It should last you 5 to 10 years outside. So I've had it out here. It rains pretty much every afternoon. I built this cover. It's a little roof I made out of some chicken coop scraps and it works really well. So I've got this cover. It covers the plunge itself. What is that right there? That's a handle, so it's easier for me to grab. Thanks, buddy. So that goes on top whenever we're done with it for the day. So yep, that covers the plunge itself, does not cover the chiller. The chiller has been great. So now let me show you some of the other upgrades I've done to the chiller. So I like to watch a 5-minute YouTube video on whatever it is I'm interested in. So I put a little phone suction cup magnet right there. One thing on my first video that I upgraded was I did the 1/2-inch tubing. I upgraded to the 3/4-inch tubing since moving it outside. Reason is it moves a lot more water, as you can see. It's a lot more water that's being moved, so it keeps the water cold even with the roof off, and it's about 95 degrees today. So the water, we've had the cover off of it pretty much all day. And it's up to 60 degrees right now. So I leave the roof off so that my wife and kids can jump in. Ava, you about to jump in there? Get in there, girl. They like to jump in every once in a while, so I'll leave the roof off for them so it kind of warms up. They don't like to get in there when it's 49 degrees like I do. So one with the bigger tubing, and that's pretty much the only major... Yeah, buddy. That's pretty much the only major updates that I've made. I went with a bigger tube. I went with a bigger filter that comes off of the pump, and it seems to be working pretty good, catching a few things. Now let me show you step by step exactly how to put this together. So you'll notice on the top of the chiller, there's one tip that says in,
one tip that says out. See it right there? So that's pretty much the only thing you'll have to really figure out is where do you want the water to go in and where do you want the water to come out. So the water coming out comes from the chiller, and that's that really cold, beautiful water. The water going in comes from the pump. Now I know there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different options that you can use. People have been saying, hey, why didn't you just drill holes and do all this other stuff? Because this works, it works fine. So I got a nice pump and it's catching a lot of the grass and stuff that makes its way in there, which is great. This pump sucks the water up. I use a clamp, put the hose on there, sucks the water up through this filter. And then I just use a little extra tubing, comes through here, goes into the chiller using a clamp. It does all its stuff in there, all sorts of cold. Then it comes out, use a clamp, use a hose, and it goes right back into the plunge itself. So recap, pump pulls the water up through a filter, filter connects to the chiller, everything in the chiller does its thing, and that moves the cold water right back out. So it's a big circle of cold water life, and that's pretty much that. One more thing a lot of people seem to want the link to and ask about is this UV oxygen filter that I've added. This has surprisingly kept the water super clear. So I've had this water outside for over a month. And I know this video doesn't do a good job because it is a black bottom tub, but the water is extremely clear. That pump does a great job. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put the link to that in the description of this video. I'm gonna put the link to everything here in the description of this video because a lot of people keep asking me those questions. So I'm just gonna make it simple. And that is that. So updates, recap, I moved my plunge outside. I built a deck. I upgraded to a rubber 110 gallon plunge. Super comfortable, love it, use it every single day. Every day that I am home, I use this plunge. Every morning, usually I go to CrossFit at 6 a.m., then I jump in this plunge as soon as I get home. So before 7:30, I've already had a great workout, I've already grounded, I've already got some morning sun, and I've already been cold. So that has been working for me. I'm absolutely loving the cold plunge. This will be a part of my life for the rest of my life as long as I have a say-so in it. So the upgrades are, I went to a 3/4 inch tube, chiller's been kicking butt outside, I love that. Family's been loving it, and I've been loving it. So hope you guys like this video. If you have any additional questions, if you'd like me to do any other video on anything cold plunge related, DIY, iceless, just put them in the comments below. Check out the description, that'll have all the links to everything here. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and God bless.
Well, I hope that video was a little bit more helpful. So it's funny, at this point I had basically rebuilt and taken apart my original DIY cold plunge like 5 different times, moving it different places, trying different materials, trying different tubs. I ended up going with a larger tube. I ended up trying a couple different filters, a couple different things, right? As you saw in that video. But at this point, like, I am about to receive my very first gift for creating content. Ice Barrel sent me a barrel to do an honest review on. And that's what my next video is about, is I receive an ice barrel, I do a review on it, and then I reach out to them. I'm like, hey, can I drill a hole into this thing and put my chiller system in it? And they said, yeah, go ahead, it's yours, enjoy. And that is what I'm about to do, so check this video out.
Oh, butter. What's up, guys? David Moss Jr. out here watching my wife continue to just drain it. So first and foremost, I want to disclose something. I am not an influencer. I'm not a paid YouTuber to do these things at all. I sell cars, that's what I do. I do this for fun. This is a hobby. I built a DIY cold plunge. You see it right back there. It started off in my house. It was kind of a goofy at-home video. I did it to help other people because there wasn't a lot of DIY cold plunge videos on YouTube. And I wanted to do something that was helpful and document my journey. I cold plunge every day, well, 3 times a week now, 3 or more, and it's great. But right here in this box is something very special, and I'm gonna show you what it is. All right, so right here is an ice barrel. And I will tell you, there are some perks to having a very watched YouTube video about my DIY cold plunge. Ice Barrel actually sent me this thing. They wanted me to do an honest review on it, which is really cool because I actually considered buying the Ice Barrel before I decided to build my own cold plunge. Now, if you notice behind me, the cold plunge back there, that Wyatt, my little man here, likes to get in. That's a different trough than the one that was inside in my first video. I've kind of experimented with a lot of different troughs.
And the reason I didn't buy the ice barrel is because I thought it was gonna cost too much. Well, let me tell you something. I've spent more than I would have spent on the ice barrel on all this other stuff for my DIY. And they're working and it's great, but let's do an honest review on an ice barrel and let's see if we can use my system with an ice barrel. Let's check it out. I'm opening the box, bud. You see Charlie out there? Oh, I went with the tan. See everyone with the black one, but I feel like I'm in Florida. Well, let's get it out of here, buddy. I feel like the tan is gonna be the one. So what's cool is you've got a lid to lock it all in. All the stuff right here. Let's see what all this is. Base. Stairs to get in and out. That's cool. Ooh, what's that down there? Can I get it? Nope. Well, it's nice. Looking good. There's a surprise in there. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? You cold plunging? All right, so at first glance, just pulled it out of the box and pulled everything out. I will say, so me and my wife were just having a conversation about it. The product as it is cool, but man, there's some modifications I'm gonna make to make this thing freaking awesome. So the one thing that I hear a lot of people talk about when it comes to the ice barrel is that it's a barrel that you have to put ice in. All right, that's cool. I mean, granted, it's beautiful and it looks good and it's easy to drain. There's a spigot at the bottom, makes it super easy to drain. It's a lot of money for something that you just put water and ice in and you have to keep clean, drain, refill with ice, etc., etc. What I love about it, what I just found out as soon as I took it out, and this is the thing I couldn't find out online and the thing that kept me from ordering it in the first place, I'll show you. All right, so it's a pretty barrel, spigot at the bottom for draining, which is cool, which means there's a hole already bored in there. If you see where I'm going.
What is it, Dad?
It's an ice barrel. What I love as soon as I noticed is I didn't know how thick the sides were gonna be, and there's a lip right here. So the lid sits on top of this. The lid sits right on top of this and it holds everything in here, keeps everything clean. What I'm gonna probably do is I'm gonna take my DIY system and I'm gonna bore a hole through the side and I'm gonna have my cooling system keep the water in the ice barrel clean, filtered, and cold at all times. So this thing's about to be freaking awesome. So a quick recap on the DIY plunge that I built. Over here, I built a deck. This was all mud and dirt and poop. I put some nice plants in to make it a nice little zen spot. I built a lid. I used this Rubbermaid 110-gallon trough, put a nice little mat down, have a chiller. That was the most expensive piece. That was $1,000 on Amazon, but it keeps my water at whatever I want it. Right now I got it set at 44. Oh no, it sure does. And so full disclosure, I need to drain this water. I haven't drained this water since my last video. This is the original water. And when we had the hurricane come through, I unplugged everything and left the water stagnant for about 4 days. So I have gotten in it. I know it's kind of gross, but it's really just water. I mean, it's cold water. It just needs to be cleaned out. This kid, this is Wyatt. He's 2 and he mimics everything we do. So he likes cold plunging. He likes working out. He likes playing basketball and doing all those fun things. But he's involved in everything we do here. So here's my thoughts. I'm thinking if I bore a hole, this is a 3/4 inch tube. If I bore a hole into the ice barrel, this is the return, pumping out beautiful 49-degree water. See, it's Florida, so yeah, all that fun stuff. But if I do this system in the ice barrel, I think that could be a way easier way to keep the water clean because this isn't seal tight. And also, it would just look a lot cooler over here than this. So you want to see a cool hack with this system? If you want to drain it, you just keep it running and just pull the tube out and just let it drain, as long as it's outside. I would not recommend doing this inside your house. All right, well, I just got in it. I'm 6'1", so it kind of shows it's up to my waist. So it's got plenty of room. What I like about this is you can actually like lean into the barrel. Like it's really comfortable. I was also kind of afraid of that, like how comfortable is it gonna be to kneel down? These are all serious things, you know, like, hey, Ice Barrel sent me this barrel to do a review on it. I wanna give you an honest review. That's who I am, just a dude. I just like to have fun and educate my friends and family and people.
You're so funny, buddy. From this angle, you can see like there's a lip here. So I'm gonna bore holes right here. I'm gonna drop my stuff in so the water line can go up as high as possible. But and then just kind of run the tubes down here, do my same setup with the pump, filter, and then the return hose. And I'm gonna turn this ice barrel from an ice barrel into a cold plunge with a fully automatic all the time chiller. That's gonna be sweet. And I'll tell you, ice barrel creators and stuff, like that would be an easy thing to change to make it possible as an option. But are you gonna get in here with me when it's cold? Almost fully drained. So for those of you who have never seen any of my videos on this, I've got a pump, goes through a filter, goes through the chiller, comes out, back in, creates a cycle of fresh, clean, cold water. And that is a UV filter that has an ultraviolet light, keeps anything that could possibly grow in this thing dead. Oh, it's time to unplug it. All right, well, the sun's going down. I'm running out of light, and this is what I got set up so far. I removed my other cold plunge, my DIY, from the area. I put the ice barrel here. It looks a lot better. My wife likes the look of it a lot. The only concerns we have is she's 5 foot even, and she cold plunges often. So she is curious how she's going to get in and out of this thing because it is kind of tall. Maybe I'll have to install like a handle up there or something. I don't know, we'll figure that out. But it looks great. I love the quality. The quality looks really good. And Ice Barrel asked for some honest reviews. So here's some honest feedback so far. I'm filling it up with water. I got my chiller set up. Everything's ready to roll. I got to get new tubing so that I can make it long enough to go through the top and down in. So that'll be fun. It'd be nice if Ice Barrel had an adapter for a setup like this, because I do see a lot of people, especially after my DIY video, using this setup. So it's definitely probably going to be a request from me and maybe from some other people in the future. At the end of the day, I love that it has a lid that seals it nice and tight. I love that you can use it traditionally with just water and ice if people like that. But from my standpoint right now, I haven't got to plunge in it yet. I haven't set my setup yet. I like it. I think it's going to be awesome so far. So I'm going to call it a night for tonight. I'll get back on this project after work tomorrow night. So in the meantime, have a great night yourself. But stay right here because here comes more. My daughter Ava just got home from cheer. She saw the new plunge tumbling and she decided to get in it. We're filling it up. We're filling her up, huh?
It's not cold.
It's not cold right now. Right now it's like a big barrel.
It's like Mimi. It's like Mimi's pool.
Are you gonna get it now?
No, but we're playing freeze tag and I'm frozen.
You're frozen in the barrel?
Sailor!
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the chiller setup and I'm gonna make this the new plunge. You guys like it?
Do it right now.
You like this better than the lay down one?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. The challenge is gonna be to see if you can even get out.
What? Oh yeah, I don't think.
Get in there with her.
No, I got dirty feet.
Hey, yeah, don't do that, man. Yeah, do you have dirty feet?
No, I rinsed it off in the other
Girl.
I don't.
All right, well, it's a beautiful morning. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, just finished working out. And I'm gonna pick up some ice because I feel like I would be doing this ice barrel a disservice if I didn't at least test it out the way it was intended. So I'm gonna pick up about, I don't know, 6 bags of ice. Looks like it's $2.79 per bag. So I'm gonna go pick that up and we're gonna do a plunge this morning with ice and water and see how that is first. All right, so I just picked up $20 worth of ice, which is only 6 7-pound bags. So that's the only thing that could get expensive. I don't know how long the ice is gonna last in the barrel in Florida. It's been a little bit cooler out because of the hurricane that came through, but it's starting to warm back up. So I'm gonna go do a plunge before I go to work today. And then I'm curious to see after the entire day how much ice is left in there. So I'm gonna document that on this for anyone who's curious how long the ice might actually stay ice. You know, it's not insulated like crazy amount at all. So we'll just play that by ear. But then, as I told you, my next step is gonna be to create
my DIY cold plunge with an ice barrel, because I truly do think that this ice barrel setup is better than any of the troughs, the lay down troughs that I've been able to find or use. So we're gonna go do a quick plunge and have some fun. So that was 6-7 pound bags of ice. It's already nice and cold. So I'm gonna jump in there while the ice is still ice. All right, so the moment of truth, I'm about to get into the ice barrel for the very first time. Hopefully I don't die getting in this thing. Oh, it's not bad. Ugh. All right, it's gonna take some getting used to. All right, not bad. Oh my God, that is amazing. And as you could tell with this entire video, this isn't just a pro buy the ice barrel video. You know, it's funny, like in the beginning of this video, I was like, I'm not an influencer. I'm not a paid YouTuber. Granted, ice barrel did send me this barrel, so I guess that's worth something. But you know, I wanted to do an honest review, and I'm gonna keep my channel this way. So like, if you're interested in legit honest reviews about things, that's what my channel is gonna be about. I have a great job. I don't need to become a YouTuber to live a great life. I love what I do. This isn't what I do, this is just for fun. But I will say that from laying down in the trough, laying down in like the bed, or not to call out any other companies, but there's most of the cold plunges out there are lay down versions. This is the most comfortable I've ever been in a cold plunge in this ice barrel. So I don't know the exact temperature. I put 6-7 pound bags in here. It's about 60 degrees, 65 degrees outside right now. So the ice is ice still, which is great. It's definitely cold. I don't think it's in the 30s. It might be high 40s, probably low 50s. I don't have my thermometer because my kids like to take my things and play with them as toys, and they don't typically put them back. But I'm right now a huge fan, and I'm now seeing where the water line is. I can easily add my chiller setup to this to keep the water filtered and clean and cold at all times, no matter what the temperature is outside. So I'm beyond excited about this ice barrel, and I want to thank Ice Barrel for sending me this. So I will say I've been in here for 2 minutes now. 2-minute plunge, ice everywhere, which is great. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. Matter of fact, I just got real excited. So I'm gonna continue sitting in here for I'm gonna do a 5-minute plunge. Why not? But one thing I like to do, if you are a plunger yourself or you are interested, is try to get fully underwater, like fully underwater. And this is gonna make it real easy because I can just sit down. Doing a plunge in the morning, before work, just sets up such a good day, especially after a good workout. So I'm gonna stay in here for, I don't know, a few more minutes, get a really nice chill on this morning, go to work, have a great day, and then I'm going to set my plunge up. So appreciate you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this stuff. I post a lot of random videos, a lot of random reviews on things that I personally use and my family personally uses. So yeah, if you're like me, then you'll like me. If you're not, then you probably won't. So have a great day either way. All right, so this ice barrel is about to get a incredible upgrade. Got myself a 1-inch drill bit, and this is 3/4 inch tubing, which means I'll have just a tiny little bit of a gap in between the tube and the outside of the barrel. So it should eliminate a lot of debris. I can always seal it up if I need to. But I'm gonna go drill a couple holes in this thing, run my tubes, build my DIY setup into this ice barrel, and make this thing the most incredible ice barrel on the planet. So I'm gonna put this thing right under the lip. So just kind of show you my setup. Got my chiller,
This is where the water comes in, goes through a nice little strainer, just kind of catches the big debris. My pump, which is an aquarium submersible pump, thing's a beast. This is gonna go in the bottom, and it's gonna suck the water out, filters through this little guy right here, suck the water out, goes through the chiller, and I'm gonna add a longer tube to push the water back in. So here's the thing, here's why I'm doing this. So I put ice in here this morning, and it's stagnant water, and I really think the ice barrel is awesome. I think it's the most comfortable thing I've ever plunged in. But I do think this little upgrade, a little hole right there, I'm gonna add another hole so I can have obviously the water go back in. This little upgrade is going to be a game changer for this. Yes, it is. All right, setup complete. So kind of the annoying thing is this strainer, I don't recommend it. It leaks. So if I have it outside the barrel, it leaks, a steady leak. I put plumber's tape on it. I've got everything in there to keep it from leaking, but it's leaking. So I'm just gonna, I redid it. I just set it all up with the strainer out here, but I'm gonna move it inside so that way if it does leak, at least it's keeping the water in the barrel. And I'm gonna go turn this thing on and just see how it looks. I'll, you know, tighten all this stuff up, keep it, you know, out of just dangling, but I think this is gonna work. And I think it's gonna keep my water nice and cool. I hear water running. Oh yeah, see how it's leaking? A steady drip. Let's not worry about that. How about that? It's gonna create a nice little circle of life. It's gonna keep it nice and filtered, keep the water nice and clean. If I get this thing here all kind of pinned to the side, I think it'll be better, but actually it's not gonna be a problem because I'm gonna sit my back over here, so I won't even get in the way, honestly. But everything's nice and tight. Really nothing's gonna get through those teeny little cracks. Chiller's on. Let's turn the boost on. Let's turn the boost on for 24/7. See, right now it's at 74. That's not good. I had the lid on this thing, ice this morning, did a nice plunge this morning in it. So it did not keep the water very cold. I'm in Florida, sun was shining today. So yeah, but have no fear. DIY cold plunge in the ice barrel is here. All right, so that's great news. I did not expect to get this done that fast, but my ice barrel meets my DIY cold plunge. You gotta check out the video on my DIY cold plunge. A lot of people have. It's on my channel. I'm gonna post it here somewhere. I'm gonna put the little thing up. I'm learning all that stuff, whatever. But right now it's flowing. Got my lid, got my lid on nice and snug. Got my tubes running right in there. Right now the water's 75. I got it set to 44. So hopefully by tomorrow morning I can take a nice plunge in some fresh, clean water right in here. One thing I'm gonna add, a lot of people ask, how do you keep the water clean? For the most part, I use hydrogen peroxide food grade. I throw, I don't know, I just kind of eyeball it. Throw some in there, keeps the water nice and cool, nice and clean, kills any of the bacteria and stuff. And yeah, so that's that. Pretty sweet, huh? Pretty sweet. All right, good morning. Just got done with another good workout and I'm excited. I got Brandon, my buddy. We're gonna go and he's gonna have his first cold plunge ever in the ice barrel. So we'll get to see a review from somebody who's never cold plunged before. And we're gonna get to see my review after I've got this thing set up on my system with an ice barrel, which I truly think is gonna be the best cold plunge setup out there. So let's go check it out. What a beautiful morning for a plunge. All right, so this is what I love about my system. The ice barrel is amazing. Check that out. I don't know if you can see it, 46 degrees. It's about 70 and change out right now. It's getting a little hot back out here in Florida. It's just running. Got the lid, keeping the bugs and stuff out. Oh yeah. Oh baby. All right, so me and Brandon just got done with a great workout. Brandon's about to have his first plunge. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rinse off in the hose. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna climb in there and just suffer. Oh my gosh. That's the warm up to the, that's the cold up to the really cold plunge. All right, Big Bear, just climb in there. Don't touch it, just get in there. Oh, that's freezing. That's cold. That's really cold. Bro, I'm proud of you, man. You just dipped right in there.
makes a
deep breaths. Hey. Yeah, take some deep breaths. So it'll help you control your breathing. Hey, how comfortable is that?
It's very comfortable.
So you didn't try the lay down one, but the lay down one, you kind of, I don't know. Have you ever gotten to like a tub and you feel like you have to, lay down and relax, but it's really not. I've never gotten comfortable in a tub. Like I really haven't. But being like this is comfortable.
More than I've ever been in the tub version. Hands are cold, feet are cold, numbing up.
Now go all the way under. Don't die. Bro, you are gonna feel like a new man today.
It's kind of like torture a little bit, but I'm sure you probably get used to it.
You get used to it. The cool thing is you've been in there for over a minute already.
I'm out.
That's good.
Big bear out.
Big bear out. So when I first was putting this thing together without water in it, I was like, man, this thing's gonna tip over. How am I supposed to get out of this thing? But with the base that it's on and with all the weight and all the water, it's actually super stable. Hey, so what do you think, man? First impressions?
I love it. Something you gotta get used to. Super cold, but of course, you can dig it.
Good job, bro. All right, so this is gonna be my first official plunge with my setup. It's 47 degrees right now, set at 44. It keeps it right in there, about 5 degrees difference. That's what I love about the chiller setup. And this is the same setup that most of the $5,000 plus systems have. So I encourage you to do a DIY. I also, after this, I'm gonna encourage you to check out an ice barrel if you're interested in doing a DIY, because I've never been in something more comfortable being uncomfortable. So let's jump in right here. It's actually not as hard to get in, and I'm kind of tall. I gotta say, when you first get into this thing, like the difference between sitting and laying into like a lay down plunge and this is like you're still active. And I think one of the biggest parts about turning your fat into brown fat and getting a lot of benefits is also staying active and staying moving while you're plunging. So we'll go ahead and get up in here. So as you saw in the beginning of the video, or in the middle when I set up my system, is I have a filter that keeps the water clean from debris and stuff that happens to get in here when you're getting in and out. I've got a return pump that's just pushing water. It's a 3/4 pipe. I had a 1/2-inch pipe on my first DIY. A lot of people saw that video. I would encourage you, if you saw that video, to check out this video and maybe upgrade your system, because this is, I gotta be honest, like I didn't think I was gonna like it at first, but I'm super stoked. Thank you so much, Ice Barrel, for sending me this barrel to review. If you are interested in an ice barrel, I'm gonna put the link in the description. They did give me a discount code to send to people. It saves you like 125 bucks or something like that. Every little dollar counts, so feel free to use that. I'll put that in the description below as well. But in the meantime, I'm gonna spend 3 minutes in here. I'm gonna get fully underwater and I'm gonna go have a crushing day. I hope you do the same thing. Whatever you do, just remember to always have as much fun as you can. Torture yourself a little bit. Movement is living. Stay moving. Have a great day and God bless. Well, that was one of my longer videos, and it actually did pretty well. It's funny, I shot that entire thing on my iPhone. I still do shoot pretty much everything on my iPhone. Why not? They work. And I edited everything on iMovie then. And I remember this thing took days to edit. I was so proud of it. And it did well. It was a very watched video. A lot of people followed that DIY. A lot of people that I didn't realize would followed that DIY and saw it. And it was pretty cool. Actually, I want to pause and tell you something really cool. Like, I didn't realize how many people around the world would see these videos. Like, for some reason, I just assumed YouTube was basically because, you know, I'm in America, like I'm in the USA, that most of my videos would be shown in USA. I've had people from all over other countries reach out to me and say, man, thank you so much for doing that tutorial on the ice barrel. Thank you so much for doing that video on the DIY. Like, it's been super cool. So if you're watching from anywhere but the USA, actually, even in the USA, can you comment where you live? Not your address, but just comment like your city or your state or your country, because I love being able to see how many people from so many different countries actually watch my content. I appreciate each and every one of you. This next video is the first cold plunge that I actually purchased. So I bought an Edge Theory Labs cold plunge and I ordered it. And this is actually a funny story. I ordered it before I built my DIY and I was all excited, you know, instant gratification. You go online, you spend the money, you get it the next day, right? Amazon Prime's got us all spoiled. Wrong. I ordered it and then I got an email saying, congratulations, you're one of our first customers. We'll begin shipping in August. yeah, begin shipping in August. I purchased this before my first video in June, so that was 2-3 months of a wait, and I was like, this is nuts. I ended up sticking with it because I was curious how these inflatables were going to be, and I ended up getting it. So this next video is actually a review of me putting together the Edge Theory Labs, which was the first purchased cold plunge. And what's cool about this is after this video, I'm going to get into my comparison between my DIY, the Edge Theory Labs, and then another cold plunge. So check this out. What's up, guys? Dave Moss Jr. here, and today I am putting together my Edge Theory portable cold plunge together, step by step, and we're gonna get in it for the first time. So let's get to it. So what makes this so worth the wait for me is that it's portable and that it creates a cold plunge and a hot tub. Not to mention, there's a child-proof lid, keeping Wyatt from throwing all of his toys and all kinds of things in there. Tons of filters. I can bring it with me when I go on vacations or trips. I'm pretty pumped to put this thing together. So mission statement and setup instructions using a QR code, which I like, saving some paper. Super easy, you can have it accessed on your phone anytime you need it. So on the back side of this, which is super cool that it's inflatable, it uses the same kind of pump that a stand-up paddleboard, inflatable stand-up paddleboard would use, which is awesome, makes it really easy. You put your valves on here and here, and that puts the water into the tub, so you don't have to have a bunch of cables. And if you watch any of my DIY cold plunges, you know that there's cables and pumps and all sorts of stuff in the tub with me, so this is gonna be really nice. So the cool thing is on the inlet here, there's a little tiny strainer that goes inside of this. So that keeps any debris that could possibly go in from damaging the actual component itself. So now I'm gonna hook these hoses up. All right, so everything is connected, pumped up. Hoses are connected out back, filters on. We're looking good. It's time to fill it up. All right, we're getting closer to the fill line, which is pretty cool. So my kids were asking some questions like, wait, what are these two holes? So the hole at the very bottom is where the water gets pulled in through all the hoses and into the component that filters, cools, or heats the water. Then it goes out and comes out that top hole. Kind of creates a nice little circle. It's very similar to what I did in my DIY. So it's just nice to know that what I built is very similar to what the professionals build, and it seems to be working. So I'm about to kick this thing on and let it start cooling that water down. All right, so setup is complete, and you're gonna laugh. I buy a cold plunge, and all my kids want to do is turn it into a hot tub. So we've got it set on heat, and we've got it set to 107, so it's actually blowing really cold air out. I'm sure to keep everything in here nice and cold. I did have to mess around back here and make sure I had a little bit of a leak, but that was my fault, not their fault. I forgot an O-ring on one hose, or it fell off at least. But everything's running, so we're gonna have a hot tub tonight. And there you have it. So this is the Edge Theory Labs cold plunge, hot plunge, portable. Very easy to set up, high quality. Real excited about this. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. God bless. The kids really like that one. They like the hot tub, obviously. Like, they're really comfortable getting in cold now, and they do it pretty much every day. But they really did like having that set up as a hot tub and being able to jump in that one as a hot tub and then go out and jump into our cold plunge. A little bit of contrast therapy. Before I even knew contrast therapy was a thing you could do or even should do, I was always told, if you get into hot stuff, don't get into cold stuff. If you get into cold stuff, don't get into hot stuff. You'll cause your body to go into shock. Crazy thing is your body's more capable than you think. And no, I'm not a doctor, and this is not medical advice. However, your body is more capable. And what I've realized is by taking things slow and working myself into things, like I do contrast therapy now at 230 degrees in the sauna and 44 degrees in my cold plunge, and actually lower than that. And my body is adapting really quick. But I didn't start there. I started way lower. This next video, however, is where I compare the DIY to the Edge to the Polar Monkeys, which is the metal galvanized trough with a whole chiller setup. They ended up sending me that to do a review on as well, and it's been pretty cool. So check this out.
What's up, guys? David Moss Jr. here, and in this video, I'm gonna answer all the questions that I keep getting on a daily basis, and I'm gonna review my 3 plunges. I've got my Polar Monkey plunge, my Edge Theory Labs portable plunge, and I got my Ice Barrel DIY plunge. We're gonna review it. I'm gonna answer all the questions you guys keep asking, and we're gonna get right to it, so let's go. And before we get started, I'd like to take a moment and thank our channel sponsor, Natural Living Supplements. Just visit nattylife.com. You'll find all my favorite supplements from 100% whey, isolate protein, grass-fed collagen. They have amazing essentials such as ashwagandha and beetroot, krill oil, probiotics, and so much more. I love their supplements. And if you use discount code MAUS, that's M-A-U-S, you'll save 25% off everything. And so far, all 5-star reviews. Let's get back to the show. All right, so let's start where it all began. So you see behind me, this is my chiller, my DIY setup that I originally did a video on, and I put it into a horse trough that I had on the side of my house. I cleaned it out. I was doing ice baths and that. I was filling it up with water every day. I was going to the store. I was spending $50 to $80 on ice every time I was doing a plunge. And I asked myself, there's gotta be a different way. There's gotta be another way. Like how do they keep aquariums cold, right? If I built myself an aquarium style chiller, that should work. And I was too stupid to like go online and to research and to do all the, and actually see that there was plunges out there for sale. And then once I finally did that, I found that they were like $5,000+. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not spending $5,000 to freeze myself. That's a lot of money at the time. So I decided to go down the rabbit hole on Amazon. I found this chiller. It's the same chiller that the Plunge uses. And I kind of did the same setup. I basically built myself a chiller with a pump, with a filter, with the hoses, and it's been working really great. I've since upgraded and I went to the Ice Barrel. The Ice Barrel is an amazing option for anybody who really doesn't care to get down and lounge. I like it because you climb up into it and you get down into it. So this is my DIY setup that I help people literally every week build. It's actually really exciting to help people do this for themselves. And this is where it all began. So we're gonna start here. The first thing I wanna talk about is the lid. So compared to my DIY setup, which did not have a lid, and things were getting thrown in by this little guy all the time, the Ice Barrel comes with a really good lid. It keeps everything out, keeps the water really, really clean, and it's light and it's super easy to just throw on and take off anytime you want. So I gotta say, if I had to rate the Ice Barrel as far as the lid goes, which you may not think is important, but imagine having to constantly refill and fill and refill and fill and clean this thing out every time you use it. This is I'd give it a 5 out of 5 as far as lids. Really, really love the lid on this thing. I also really love how simple it is to drain. There's a little drain spout down here. A lot of people are taking my DIY setup and they're actually putting external pumps and attaching it here. I might end up doing that, but if I ever wanted to drain this thing, look, I just turn it and it drains pretty much all the way down to the bottom. Super lightweight, real easy to clean out. I don't know what the material is. I say plastic, but I know it's something cooler than that. Holds 105 gallons. I'm a big fan. I'm a really big fan. So that's the lid, that's the drain. Kind of want to talk about the maintenance side of these things too, because a lot of times people just talk about the size and how much water it holds, which honestly, I don't think is important at all. If you can fit into it, that's obviously important, but most of these things you can, unless you're Andre the Giant. But you got steps that come with it. You get right into that. Ice Barrel, I really, really love what you got going on here. Now that leads me to the Polar Monkeys. I'm gonna talk about the same things on this part of the video. So the lid on this that you can get, it does not come with it, but the lid that you can get is, I would also give it a 5 out of 5. I'm gonna rate these things to 5. 5 out of 5. Thing's awesome. It's super stable, super secure, folds halfway. So when I'm jumping in this thing, I literally don't have to take the lid all the way off. I just fold it halfway. This one here is 6 foot. so I can get all up in there. There's plenty of room. Also has a nice little drain plug down there. It's really cool. Comes out the side there. You can attach a hose to it. Same thing. You can drain this thing without having to move it, which is super convenient. So I would say 5 out of 5 as far as lids, draining, keeping this thing clean is super easy. And one thing I really love about this setup, how it comes, is you see how thick and big these pipes are? There's a lot of water moving, a lot of water moving. The inlet's there to pull the water in. The outlet's here, it pushes a lot of water, which keeps the water really clean and keeps the water really cold, especially here in Florida. So Polar Monkeys, you guys are doing an awesome job. As far as Edge Theory Labs go, this is the most expensive of the plunges that I have. The lid is cool. It is a little flimsy, you can see. I keep mine outside, so I didn't full detail this. So the water does end up sometimes catching. If you keep it inside, that's probably a better option. But it's a pretty easy, the whole point to the Edge Theory Labs is it's portable, so I get it. You can't have a cover like that, put it in a backpack. So it's a really easy cover to take off, right? Take it off. It does have cool little child locks. So on each of these things, there's like a little code you can use to keep kids from opening it up. I do have to say I'm struggling right now to get my Edge Theory Labs to turn on and actually start working and pumping water. So I reached out to them to see if they can help me, but we're gonna assume it's working for this review, and I'm gonna assume everything's working great. So as far as the lid, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for super portable, you wanna take this thing with you when you travel, it's super convenient that you can just take it off, fold it in half, and throw it in the backpack that it comes with. It's also nice that you can take this entire plunge, you can drain it out, you can do all that stuff. Now to drain this, it is a little bit different. They don't have a drain plug because it is portable and you blow it up. So what you would do is you would take this pipe that normally pumps the water into your plunge and you just disconnect it and let the whole system just cycle through, and it would suck all the water down to right there, that little eyelet. It is still a little bit heavy, so as far as like constantly taking the water out, putting the water in, the portability of it, you'll get used to it because I got used to it. But I would probably, I don't even want to give it a rating because I don't want to be mean, but like depends on what you're looking for. I would probably give it like a 3 to 4. Because it is a little bit tricky and it is a little bit finicky. But at the end of the day, I get what they were going here. I like the crew at Edge Theory Labs. They're really cool guys. Now, because this is heavily insulated, you actually notice that the tubing is not super duper thick, but it's okay. When it works, it seems to keep the water cold or hot very easily. Hey, and if you're interested in getting yourself any of these plunges, I'm gonna put a discount link to all 3 of them in the description below, so check them out. All right, so now let's talk about the actual chiller and the components of these particular cold plunges. There's a lot more coming on the market. Cold plunging is becoming really popular. So if you get this chiller, I put the link to this one, and it's on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description if it's something you wanna do. A lot of people are doing it. I think the chiller is like 1,100 bucks now. When I first did it, it was like 800, so prices are going up. What's up, bro? I love you. You little cutie pie. So super easy. I mean, this thing literally plug and play. You can set it, it goes down to 30. You know what, let's do it real quick. So my wife keeps us set in the mid 50s. All you gotta do is hold down the set button. And you set it to whatever you want. It goes down to 39 degrees as far as the set goes. I'm gonna turn it back up for her. She'll kill me. Pretty much, if this is something you want to do, you're just going to need to get yourself some hose. I'll put all the links to all of this in the description if that's something you want to do. But you get some hose. I cut a couple holes in the top of my plunge, or my barrel. I put a little sifter here. Basically, it's a strainer. Just gets any major debris out. And then I've got my underwater submersible pump there. And this is where the water comes out. So I went with thicker tubing. See how that water flow is? If you're in Florida, if you're in a hotter climate, you want thicker, bigger tubes just to push more water, keeps the water cold. It's not having to fight the elements so much. But that's my DIY setup, super simple. This whole setup as far as the chiller and the pump and the strainer and the hoses and the clamps and everything you need other than the barrel or the horse trough or whatever it is that you want to use. This whole setup was like 1,300 bucks. So $1,300, including everything, is what I paid. I know it's probably gonna get more expensive as time goes on. And you can literally throw it into a bathtub, but ice barrel, I'm really, really loving this. Now the Polar Monkey setup, this is more of a semi-permanent setup. I mean, you've got a Mac Daddy chiller. This chiller goes down to 37 degrees. A Mac Daddy filter. This is like a hot tub, small pool filter. So it literally cleans the water better than any of the filters of anything I've used. Thick tubing, a great pump that pulls the water, a lot of water flow. They even gave you a little box to keep all the water out. It's just a really good setup. So, I mean, literally, it was, when I put the water in, I mean, I set it at 45 degrees. I don't know if you guys can see that. I moved this right here, super easy to just get to and change because of how I put it. But it gets down to 37 degrees and it keeps the water where you have it. So Polar Monkeys, you guys are crushing it. Really, really love your setup and the components. And it was very easy to put together. Matter of fact, if you want to see that video, I'll put it right here. But yeah, great job, guys. So at first glance, it's super cool because it's compact. It's super easy, it's small, it's not super heavy. You got a nice filter on the back there. All the plugs are super easy to get to. And you basically just plug it right into the back of this plunge, plug it in, and it's super easy. Now where I have struggled, and I've struggled since the day I got this thing, is to get it to consistently work. I don't know if I just have a bad one or a faulty one. I reached out to the team. I can't even get the thing to turn back on, and I've only had it for a short while. So a little disappointed in that, but let's just assume for a second that it was working perfectly. It goes up to 107 degrees, and that's kind of what I want to do. Is I want to set this to like a hot tub, set this to a freezing cold plunge, and set that to like the middle of the line so my kids and my wife can use it, and do that hot cold contrast therapy. So as far as the components go, looks really cool, a lot of great features. The filter and everything is built right up into there. So it's really nice if, like, once again, you're looking for something compact. I just can't seem to get mine to work right now. Well, now let's talk about price. I know the prices are probably gonna change on all these things as the time goes on, as this video ages, but if you did my exact DIY setup and bought yourself an ice barrel, if you use my discount code, it saves you like 150 bucks, and sometimes they up that around like holidays and stuff, which is super cool. But if you bought the ice barrel and you bought my entire setup right here, my whole setup is about $1,300. As I've shot this video, I just shopped this out for a friend who was looking to do the exact same thing. The ice barrel is also about $1,300, so 2,600 bucks, and you have yourself a full continuous cold plunge in the ice barrel. But once again, you don't have to use an ice barrel. You can do this and set it up in a horse trough, a Rubbermaid tub, or anything like that, even your bathtub. So you're looking at, if you did this whole setup, starts at 1,300 bucks to have cold water. Depending on what you put your water in, it can get up there. But using the ice barrel, doing this exact setup, $2,600. Not too bad. Now, as far as Polar Monkeys go, I shopped, this is the 6-foot Polar Monkey. It's got the monkey verse, it's got the chiller, the cold water filter. They have a hot as well. Like, you can make the water hot just like you can in Edge Theory Labs, which is super cool. This whole setup was about $4,300 because there was a few upgrades that I got with the lid, with everything like that. So 4,300 bucks to have this entire setup. But you can buy their portal setup, which has the chiller, the filter, everything. I think it starts at $2,300. So 2,300 bucks to $2,600 for mine. At the end of the day, you could get cold for under 2,500 bucks and have a really awesome setup. So Polar Monkeys, I think you're super competitive for what you got, guys. And then Edge Theory Labs for this whole setup is about $5,000, and it comes with everything you need to get started. Comes in a really cool backpack. It's huge, so you can throw everything except for the chiller setup in that backpack, so you can bring it when you're traveling or anything like that, which is super cool. But for this whole setup, you're looking at about $5,000. Well, now let's get in it. So I'm 6'1", about 205 pounds. And I'm gonna jump in all these different plunges, and I'm gonna show you how I fit so you can see how you might fit. You're gonna get in with me, buddy? All right, so the first thing we're gonna jump in is this ice barrel. Oh dear. So the cool thing is, like, if you see me? Yeah. So the cool thing is, if you have like knee pain or ankle pain, you can just get in halfway. Like, sometimes my kids and my wife will just do this. But when you're getting in, you just kind of sit. You just, it feels so good. So you kind of get into like a crouching, squatting position, but the way the barrel is shaped. Get your bathing suit on. You want to get in with me?
How do I get my bathing suit?
Here, I'll help you in 1 second. So you can pretty much, like I said, I'm 6'1". You can get all the way down to your neck real easily. I'm not super flexible. I am a little bit, but I'm not super flexible, but I like that you can kind of sit. A couple of the downsides are you can get lazy. You can like have your back against the wall of the plunge, which kind of takes some of the effects away of getting cold. You want to avoid pockets. You want to avoid those hot pockets where you don't have the cold water on you. So you kind of, what I'll do is sometimes I'll sit Indian style with my feet and my knees on the bottom, or almost on my knees. They weirdly actually fit. And there's actually, I mean, there's plenty of room. It doesn't look like it looks like a small barrel, but it's really not. There's a lot more room than I thought there was going to be. And when you want to get all the way down in there and you want to dunk your head, you just dunk your head. It did. You got it for me?
Yeah.
Can I have it? Oh, bud. You're such a big helper. Yeah, so as far as ice barrel, I enjoy getting in this thing. I really do. It's a whole different experience when you're crouching and you can kind of sit up and down and adjust where you're at constantly than laying down, but there's a place for both. So let's go check these other ones out. And then getting out, you kind of have to swing your foot. It's a little tricky, but all in all, not too hard. No, it's not working still. All right, let's get into the Polar Monkey. This is my, I've been doing this every day. I've been getting the Polar Monkey every day. I love it. You just kind of sit down in it. If you're just getting started, you can keep your arms out pretty simply. But you see where my feet are. My back's not even to the back. I can get my entire body really cold really easily, and I have plenty of room, like plenty of room. If I want to do a full dunk, real easy to do that. Woo! Oh yeah. God, they just did a great job with this. I love the 6-foot option. It's obviously got plenty of room. When me and my wife first did this, when I first did the unboxing and the building of this, we both got in at the same time. Are you in there, buddy?
Yeah.
So, plenty of room, getting in and out of this thing. Whoop, almost lost the camera there. Super easy. Super easy. Love this thing. All right, so let's jump in this Edge 3 Labs.
Oh, I'm getting
Don't get that one, buddy. You will freeze your tush. So the water's not cold yet. I'll get it figured out, I'm sure. But it's kind of nice. Like it's once again, the whole point of the Edge 3 Labs is to be compact, be portable, to be easy to take with you if you need to take it with you, and move it around and stuff like that. So it's very wide. This is the widest of these 3. So like you have plenty of room to let your arms get open. So I do like that. I definitely think they did something there. You can kind of sit, once again, Indian style, and there's not a lot of...
It's 5.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of hot pockets. I get you! You stinker. So this one's pretty easy to dunk as well. You got a towel for us, buddy?
Yeah, I got a
So it's
towel.
wide. It's definitely easy to get in.
I got a towel for me.
Definitely easy to get out. And it's soft. That's kind of the nice thing, is it's soft. It's got a squishy inflatable material, so it's very comfortable if you want to just kind of lounge like this. I'm gonna get you again. Hey, come here. Here, come get in with me. Ready? I'll get you. So Edge 3 Labs, definitely a very comfortable option. Very comfortable. Now, as far as condensation goes and like bleeding, this will bleed, so you probably don't want it inside your house. The Polar Monkey also will bleed, so you may not want it inside your house, but not too bad. Edge 3 Labs won't bleed at all. This one can be inside with no problems. And so to wrap this video up, if I had to rate all 3 of these setups, I would give my DIY setup with the ice barrel, that exact setup, I would give it a 5 out of 5. It's not because I'm partial to it. It's truly, like, as far as price goes, comfort, and just really dependability, I've had 0 issues with it. And yes, I keep my chiller outside. It was not undercover for like 3 months, getting rained on. There was a hurricane, ran like a champ. I know it's against everything in the owner's manual, but it's been working. So I give it a 5 out of 5. As far as the Edge 3 Labs goes, if you're looking for a portable plunge, it's a phenomenal option. The price is up there. I'm having a little bit of issues with getting mine to work, and I don't know how to fix everything in it because a lot of it's housed. Beautiful setup. As far as everything goes, I would probably give it a 4 out of 5 just because there are some other options out there that I prefer. But use this video and use this review to kind of make that, you know, determination for yourself. Polar Monkeys, I freaking love them, honestly. 5 out of 5. I give them a 5 out of 5. If you're looking for a semi-permanent plunge, something you could put out somewhere, have a nice lid, have freezing cold, beautiful water to jump in at all times, easy to keep clean, it's the right option as far as the price goes, and they're super competitive, probably one of the more competitive options on the market. So that's my ratings. If you disagree or you think I failed to go over something, please post that in the comments below because I'd love to learn more. And if there's some other options out there you think I should probably look at, let me know too. So there you have it, my friends. I just wanted to do a little walkthrough of these 3. I've got, once again, the Polar Monkey 6-foot Monkeyverse portal, the Edge 3 Labs portable cold plunge, and it also gets to 107 degrees hot. And I have my ice barrel DIY setup. So now I'm gonna go do my actual plunge, and I am gonna do it in my Polar Monkey setup. I have it set at 45 degrees, so that's probably why. I'm gonna get on the phone with Edge Theory Labs and get mine working because I'm sure it's something I'm doing wrong. The setup is really good. It's a really good setup. It's the more expensive of these 3 options, but it's really, really nice and really compact. And then my ice barrel DIY, I've got a friend who's working on his right now, so I'm sure I'm gonna get a call from him on how to get a couple of the things set up correctly. But at the end of the day, I love all 3 of these options. Post in the comments below which one you think is the best option. If there's any questions that you had that I did not answer, put them in the comments below. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, maybe consider doing that. And at the end of the day, guys, I hope you all have a great day. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.
I'm not sure why that said YouTube Shorts on the entire video. It's definitely not a short. It was actually pretty long, but that's okay, and that's besides the point. So I'm curious at this point, like after watching all that, seeing that comparison, seeing those reviews, which one of these cold plunges is your favorite? Doesn't mean it's the best, but is your favorite? Post that in the comments below. I'm excited to actually share this next video that you might have seen as well. This is where I got flown out to New York by Plunge. This is what's so cool, and this is why I wanted to share this longer video and kind of go back through my journey. It's really fun sometimes to pause and reflect to Selah, which is one of my daughter's names. It actually means to pause and reflect on your journey, on where you started, how you got to where you are today, and maybe your vision of where you want to go. Well, I got flown out to New York by Plunge to see one of the few creators that actually got flown out to see their new plunge, to actually document, get some content on their new all-in plunge, which is an incredible product. Also got to spend some time with the founders of Plunge, got to jump in the sauna, their new sauna, and get a little content on that as well. They just launched their all-in plunge just the other day. So I encourage you, if you haven't purchased a cold plunge, I would check that out. If you go into the video description, I do have affiliate links that will save you money on all these cold plunges you're seeing in my videos and most of the major brands out there. So make sure you check those out before you buy so you can save a little bit of money. Check this video out and tell me what you think about the all-in plunge.
What's up, guys? Dave Moss Jr. and today I'm at the Plunge All-In event with the brand new Plunge All-In fully redesigned and the brand new Plunge sauna. Today we're going to review both, so let's get right into it. So first let's talk about the size. This stands at 27 inches tall, 31.5 inches wide, so it can fit through your standard doorway, and it's 76.5 inches in length. And the term all-in is truly all-in. And if you notice, there's no external pumps, there's no external chillers. Everything is built right into the Plunge, which is an amazing upgrade. It's gonna save you a lot of space and make it super easy for you to set it up, fill it up, and start getting cold immediately. So let's talk about some of the biggest upgrades. One, this thing is super quiet. I have my microphone right here next to the whole system, and you can't hear it. It's super duper quiet. Everything is built right into here. It's a sleek design. You've got your vents, so you don't have to worry about anything taking up any space where you're gonna have your plunge set up. To change your temperature, turn your light on, change your filter is all right here as well with this little touchpad. Turn your temperature down. It can also get down to 37 degrees now. Turn your temperature up if you want to set it up a little higher. There is an optional heater as well. And if you live in the colder climates where it is going to snow and you're going to have this outside, I highly recommend you opt for the heater so that you don't have to turn the system off. You can just turn the heat on and it'll keep your system from freezing over. You also have a button right here that'll turn your light on and off. There's a pause feature, which you're going to want to use if you want to just turn everything off, get really quiet, and really just zen out when you're doing your cold plunge. Also, that's a great feature for when you want to change out your filter, which is a very easy filter to change. It's not going to leak all over your floor. It's very simple. This is a great upgrade for them for sure. And then if you notice this little Wi-Fi button, you'll actually be able to connect this plunge to the Plunge app. It is Wi-Fi enabled, so you'll be able to play around with an app which will give you guided plunges, give you smart maintenance, so it'll let you know when it's time to change your filter out, and a lot more. So that's super exciting. Now, if you have a cold plunge or a DIY, you know that changing out the filter can be one of the most annoying parts. And if you followed my DIY, you know that all I talk about using is a strainer because it's super duper simple. Typically, you have to turn it off, somewhat drain it, unscrew it, water gets everywhere. It's a big process. But the new plunge, now you have this beautiful little cover you take off. You're gonna wanna pause your plunge, and then right in here, you literally just unlock it and pull it out, and your filter comes out from the top. There's this pause button that you're gonna press, and it's gonna give you 15, 30, and 45 minutes of pause, where if you notice, everything in the tub turns off. You take this little cover off,
Unscrew. This is where the filter is.
so now you see the water's not moving, and you can replace the filter. Very simple. Once you replace your filter, put it back in there, make sure it's center.
Screw back on. Put your cover back on.
There we go. And then you push the pause button to where it's back on, and we're starting back up. That's how easy it is to change the filter in the new Plunge. So you never have to drain your Plunge when it comes time to just changing out your filters, and it keeps it super mess free. All right, you might be wondering what this is right here. This is actually a drip tray, which is super exciting to have, because if you're like me, one of the most annoying things is when you get out of your Plunge and you're wet, especially if you have it in your garage or if you have it in a gym floor and it gets your floor all wet. So this drip tray is gonna be able to catch the water, and you'll be able to go dump that water out over time. So now let's get in. All right, so a couple things. The light is down at the feet. There's a pump down here at the feet that is pushing water out. There's a filter down at the bottom, and very similar to the first generation Plunge, you have a filter down here at your back and another pump that's going to be moving water, creating a circle, creating circulation, which is great. One thing that's really cool is it's very similar to the size of the XL Plunge, so it's not going to take up a bunch of space or any more space. You have a nice slanted back so you can get really comfortable, and the footwell where your feet go isn't as slanted, it's a little bit more vertical, so you can kind of plant your feet, which is nice. Another nice thing is getting down under the water and dunking isn't very difficult. Very similar to the previous Plunge, very easy to just get down into the water. It's a very comfortable experience. If you're interested in getting into plunging, getting into cold plunging, and you want something that is aesthetically pleasing, something that is beautiful, the Plunge is definitely something I would recommend. And if you want to get yourself one, I'll have a link down in the description that you can check out. We'll save you a little bit of money. Make sure you use discount code DMOSSJR. I'll also have that link down below to keep it easy for you. All right, and now we're gonna quickly transition over to the new Plunge sauna. This sauna is awesome. Couple things to note, couple quick things to note. If you're interested in saunas, one of the biggest frustrations for any sauna owner is the electrical part. It's having to have an electrician come out, run wires for you, and actually hook up your sauna. The cool thing about the Plunge sauna is it actually comes pre-wired. All you're gonna have to do is have an electrician just set you up with the right power at your house, but you can literally plug that dryer vent plug right into the outside of the sauna. So I wanted to start with that because to me, that is super awesome. The dial on the outside, which is also Wi-Fi enabled, is where you're gonna change your temperature, and you can adjust this all the way up to 230 degrees, which is awesome. So now let's take a tour inside. So rapid fire on their sauna, you have two different sizes. You have the standard, which is 5 foot wide, and then you have the XL, which this is the XL, which is 7 foot wide. The depth is 5.5 feet from the front face all the way to the top of the slanted roof, and then it's just under 9 foot tall to the top of the slanted roof. There's two different heater sizes. There is the 6 kilowatt and the 9 kilowatt. The 9 kilowatt is gonna heat up much faster than the 6 kilowatt, but both are great options. Now, another cool innovation is that if you want to use this sauna to create your own hot yoga space, all you have to do is fold up the top bench and then slide the bottom bench and do the same thing. And then you have a 7 foot by, I wanna say 3.5, 4 foot base that you can do yoga and stretch in the heat, which is super cool. All right, we're bum rushing the Plunge sauna here with the team, the founders of Plunge. What's up, guys? Oh, we're getting foggy. This is gonna be bad.
Yeah.
I guess this is what it's gonna look like, right? So hey, real quick, before this camera equipment all totally overheats, why Plunge and where did it come from and how did it start?
Yeah, so me and Ryan both had float centers. So mine was in San Francisco and Ryan was up in Sacramento. Ryan came in early on, introduced himself, and became good buddies. And you know, when the pandemic hit, shut our businesses down, I basically started building plunge prototypes. In the meantime, you know, we had both saw the Wim Hof documentary, saw him on Rogan, started cold plunging rivers and lakes. I had built an ice chest freezer, and then Ryan.
And then he started prototyping units. The pandemic shut us down. Mike's building in. He happened to move to Sacramento, and he's building them in the garage. And you know, he's iterating this product, and he comes in and asks me like, "Dude, what do you think? We should sell these like to our customers from our float centers. Do you want to go in business with me?" And I was kind of a little taken aback by the product. It was a little prototypey. And I said no, and then Mike just kept working on it, and he finally presented a product that I thought was like very incredible, very close to what our current V1 model is right now.
Awesome.
And you know, from there we just emailed our other customer base. We're like, hey, we're gonna build 20 of these. We'll hand deliver in Mike's van. Who wants to buy them in Northern California? And that was kind of the start of the company. And we, you know, another big thing that we did early on, the company's named Plunge, but we bought the coldplunge.com. and the term cold plunge wasn't really a common term at this point. Everyone was still using ice bath. And so we went all in on the term cold plunge. And by doing that, we were ranking first page in Google within weeks.
Yeah.
And so organic, no paid, like we didn't pay for anything for like months.
Dude, that's awesome.
First year of the company. So that was kind of our rocket fuel beginning.
That's so awesome. Well, the product is awesome. One thing that I learned tonight, which has been really cool, is that this new version, the all-in, which is amazing, is going to be the premium version. We're still going to have the plunge that we have right now.
Correct.
Right? And we have this beautiful sauna, 2 different sizes. What's the future look like? You want to share?
Future is bright, man. I mean, more of the same. Look at what we have with the all-in. More stuff like that's coming down the road.
Cool.
Yeah. Keep an eye out. We have this XL sauna. We also have a standard version. And yeah, more products. We'll have a shower for the sauna. We also have the basin,
Yeah,
the
that's
drip
cool.
tray for the all-in,
Yep.
which is really cool.
The exciting thing is the app. Like we're actually
Yep.
we developed our own app. It's in the App Store. We own it, and it's all of our products will run through that ecosystem. So
I can't wait, man.
You can run it, you can schedule it, you can time it, you can track yourself, gamify the whole thing, and that'll be a product that we just keep building out.
I love it, man. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for having me. This has
thank
been a treat. We've done like 17 cold plunges today.
Yeah,
It's like my
you've been an
ninth
animal.
sauna session in here. Whew, I'm not gonna have. I need more electrolytes. We're gonna have to go get some more electrolytes.
This is great.
Hey, you heard it from the rock stars here. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you,
Go.
bud.
So there we have it, my friends. Great little review of the brand new Plunge all-in and the brand new Plunge sauna. If you have any questions that I did not go over, please post them in the comments below. If this video is helpful, please like it, subscribe. I will see you on the next video. Have a great day, guys, and God bless. I'm gonna end the video there at 1.5 hours. I feel like that's a long video, and I just wanted to make this video to go back through my journey, and I appreciate you. If you've watched it all the way until the end, I want you to know that I appreciate you. I want you to know that I appreciate your support. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your subscribes. I appreciate your likes. It means the world to me. Now, if you're not subscribed to the channel, maybe consider doing that. It means so much. If you haven't liked this video or shared it, you can do that as well. Every little thing you do is an act of kindness that shows me that you care, but it also makes me feel awesome. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great day. I'll see you on the next shorter video. Have a great day, guys, and God bless.